Navy support techs pounding on computers. Taggart stood spread-legged behind a field table as White Team gathered close and took canvas stools to wait for the briefing to begin. For a few minutes, the team chief flipped through 8x10 blow-ups on the table, featuring atrocities committed by Taliban and Al-Qaeda. IEDs exploding in an open market, torn bodies strewn about in the wreckage. A family beheaded in their mud hut because Daddy was suspected of being an informer. A village chief hanging upside down from a tree with his throat slit and blood streaming onto the ground. It wasn't enough that terrorists slaughtered. They had to advertise it, photograph their work and distribute prints as a warning to others. With his lean face set, his lips a grim knife slit, his entire body a tense portrait of righteous fury, Taggart held up a colored photo of children slaughtered in a schoolyard. Vultures perched on the roof of the little mud schoolhouse, necks craned and patient. "Look at this," he grated out. "Every activity in this stinking province. That shitbag al-Mutaqi's been behind." He exchanged the photo for one of a dark-skinned, jackal-faced man who appeared to be in his early 40s. He didn't have to identify him. Hatim al-Mutaqi. SEALs had been chasing his murderous ass for the past 5 years. 3 years ago, al-Mutaqi was responsible for the deaths of 10 SEAL 6 operators over in Wardak province. Taggart had known some of them since BUDS, basic underwater demolition SEAL training. They were brothers to every man inside the TOC tent. Chinook choppers had inserted the SEALs in a raid on a house where insurgent leaders headed by al-Mutaqi had gathered to plot. As it turned out, informers in the village learned of the raid and warned al-Mutaqi and the others. The SEALs landed into a trap. A bloody L-shaped ambush wiped out the entire troop in one of the biggest single losses in SEAL 6's history. The primary target, al-Mutaqi, not only got away that night, but again 3 days later when he escaped a U.S. airstrike on a compound where he was hiding. Intel began to suspect he had inside sources that were tipping him off. Taggart glared at the terrorist's photo. "We just picked up SIGINT from a village up in Kunar," he revealed. "He's surrounded by civilians, so drones and airstrikes are out. We're working up a ConOps now. Command wants us to take a shot." His cold eyes swept the team. "Tonight," he added. Calder appeared skeptical. Hell, he was always skeptical. "You know how many times we've rolled snake eyes with this guy? He could be tipped off by farmers, could be a courier, could be Fishbait's cousins." "They're all my cousins," Fishbait badgered back. "That's how this tribal thing works." Bear Graves was already coiled for action. "What do you think, Rip?" "You know what I think." "Yeah. Let's do it." Calder appeared to be considering. He shrugged and threw up his hands. "Screw it, I'm in." Buddha Ortiz sipped mate he had succeeded in heating up and brought with him in a gourd cup. A connoisseur never drank it from a canteen cup. "Yeah, okay," he said. "Nice night for a walk. But Bear's got some news first. Bear, tell him." Graves stood up, a proud papa-to-be. "Lena and we're having a baby," he blurted out. Rip took a moment to absorb the news, as though searching to tap into something inside he might have lost going to war for so many years. Finally, he forced his thin lips into the semblance of a smile. "That's great, Bear. Good for you. We want you to be the godfather." Taggart looked uncertain. "I'm honored, Bear. But Jesus, me? What do I have to do?" Buddha had the answer. He lifted his gourd in a salute. "I'll cover the God part, Rip. You just show up with candy and presents." Bear laughed and dug out his cell phone. "Let's get a picture for Lena." "New guy, you take it," Ortiz suggested to Buckley, as the 6 members of Team White, prepped for tonight and ready to take on all comers, jauntily crowded around Taggart with their arms and legs around one another, in some kind of rendition of Frat Night at the U. Buckley shot the selfie from arm's length. Graves would later make copies for everyone that showed the team members smiling and cutting up in high excitement. All except Rip Taggart, who stared solemn-faced into the lens, his lips pressed thin, eyes like agate.